Hello, dear viewer, and welcome to this showcase and review of Loop Hero on Steam with me, Jalanon, at Lunar Nebula Gaming. So it was made by 4 Quarters and published by Devolver Digital. On the Nintendo Switch, it is rated teen, which I think is appropriate. There's some curse words and some dialogues that happen, and it's a very dark story overall, with some very strange themes and kind of focus on religion, time traveling stuff, why God would want to do some weird things. Anyway, there are some options we could take a look at. Right now, I am not in full screen. We have a CRT shader, we can turn that off. I kind of like it. Some people might not. We can choose our hero color, how they show up on the map. I would not recommend red or blue, since some enemies show up like that. I like the white. It shows up very well in my opinion. You can change your cursor. You can have the hero highlighted on the map and stuff. I personally never did any of that. I like this cursor. And yeah, overall I would recommend though turning on these options. You can even turn this on in the pause menu of when you are looping. The game's name is very on point, and I will show you exactly what that means in a minute. But yeah, I like having the pause at the end of a loop, and I like pausing after battles because I like being able to play cards fairly often right after I get them and stuff like that. Loop Hero is one of those games that basically defies convention and kind of sets up a whole new genre in some ways. Very few things have really tried to continue this formula yet. I hope in the future we will see more. But the basic idea is you build a town over time, and that helps you get meta progress. For every time you finish a loop or fail a loop, you'll bring back some materials. And then you can build stuff like, you know what, let's build a nice little forest. I could put a lumberjack here probably. So, we'll build that. I could still build a lumberjack actually. So I will. I'll put it here. So, the lumberjack after an expedition gives you a stable branch, and a stable branch, when you get 10 of these, it builds into a stable piece of wood. Now, spoiler alert, I'm going to probably spoil some stuff about this game. It's been out about a year now, so not a big deal, I think. But if you don't want any spoilers, maybe skip to the end. But basically, yeah, you are in a void, so to speak. Your main character is traveling this void and remembering how the world used to be, and based on the stability of those memories and things, he can bring them back and people can build around it. It's very interesting. There are 4 acts in the game. You have this boss at the end of Act 1, this boss at the end of Act 2, etc., etc., and the final story boss, at least, in Act 4. There is more than what I have done in my playthrough. There's apparently a secret boss. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see that. For now, I'm not planning to do it at the moment, but yes, there is quite a bit. The main focus of the game is, of course, getting cards that you can place on the map to affect what you can get. So, for instance, if I wanted to, I could put down deserts for the strategy of lowering every creature's HP by 0.5%. Now you can say, well, that doesn't seem that good. It also lowers your own HP. Well, with that, we have different heroes. So this hero focuses on HP, so the desert's probably not so good for him, the warrior. The rogue, however, has high evasion. And if you give the rogue the arsenal gold card at the beginning, you use it up once you've placed it, you get an additional item slot, and that item slot is Magic Shield. And the Magic Shield on the rogue is basically temporary HP every battle you enter, and if you have high evasion as well, you become a lot tankier than everything else if you lower its HP, potentially. Now, that's a flip of the coin with evasion, as always, but you know, that's a possibility. The Necromancer, in my opinion, is the strongest hero class in the game, as long as you know what enchantments you need on the equipment to really give you the boost of power you need. But yeah, I'd also say it's the best class for farming equipment. Now, some things to note, you cannot get every material on here in Act 1. I believe in Act 2 you can, and onwards, but it might be Act 3 onwards is everything. Pretty sure it's Act 2 onwards. But the resource caps, though, do also change. So in Act 1, you can only get a maximum of 10 of the maximum amount of resources. Once you've got the little amounts building into the big ones. I believe Act 2 is 20, 3 is 30, and so on. There are hero traits you can get if your hero levels up by beating stuff on the map or building suburbs. That is another option. And so, you know what, do I have my suburbs unlocked on this character? I do not. Let's go to my third little deck building slot, because this is what I use for the Necromancer. I'm going to give you some suburbs, sir. We got Temporal Beacon, Vampire Mansion. A little bit dyssynergy there, but you know what? I'm going to live with it. I'm going to live with it. And I'm going to show you what this loop actually looks like now. Clicking start. So, also, enemies get stronger every loop and everything. The loops are randomly generated. They will always be a loop, but the amounts of twists and turns and all that, that's different. I get my starter equipment because I've built stuff in my town that'll allow the Necromancer starting equipment to appear. Otherwise, no, I would not get that. Okay, and as you can see, these are all level 1 items. However, they can still have different stats. So this level 1 amulet has only 27 magic shield. This one has 2 more, 29. And in your first loop, that might make a difference. It might. Eventually, we will get just straight up better things. And if you click and hold on your stuff, you can see where you can equip it. No reason not to get that right now. You can see our stats down here. I do 4 to 6 damage personally, but as the Necromancer, I really don't care about my damage. I care about what my skeletons will do. Alright, here's my first friendless skeleton. I can summon a maximum of 2 skeletons. Right now, we're not really reaching that. Let's be real. Some other things to consider. So as I have my card out and I can look at where I'm going to place it, it's a good idea to figure out, okay, what will I build in the big spots? What can I build in the little spots? Etc., etc. Eventually, you'll figure out the interactions. I'm going to spoil some of them right now. You can place rocks around a mountain and make a mountain peak or big peak. And with that, you want to place more rocks around that for the maximum HP bonus. So this is a good place for that. I will put suburbs over here. The suburbs, what you want to do with them is actually build little crosses, because the middle suburb will expand and turn into like a town. It will give you double the XP bonus from killing stuff. So instead of getting +1 XP, you get +2. Village, this can heal you. It will also upgrade 1 monster on the map. And if you can kill that with double its HP and some better stats and stuff, then you can get a reward next time you go to the village. I'm going to go ahead and place that. I'm the Necromancer. I don't care about their HP. As long as I have my little buddies tanking for me. But right now, they're not tanking very well. Which is why we want to find summon quality. Ooh, wonderful. So, this thing had the same magic shield amount. I get regen per second as well with this enchantment and summon quality. Summon quality means I can get some better, wonderful skeletons. Like a warrior skeleton, which is not appearing right now, and a guard skeleton. The guard skeleton will tank for you very effectively, and it is practically essential, I would say. Other things to consider, if we have rivers, I will want trees around the river because the river doubles the effects of card tiles you've placed. So, I gotta think about that. Normally I like putting it in a place where I can put the river in a snaky, windy way around my stuff, because every river tile that is directly adjacent to one of my trees basically will double it again. So, this seems fine right here, maybe. Alternatively, we can just leave this side for mountains, just for pure HP. We can get suburbs and trees over here and try to get the river over here. I think what I want to do... Yeah, I think I want to do this. So then I'll put the river here and have it snake around closer to the road, because I can't really place trees right next to the road, weirdly enough. So yeah, there are some orders of operations and things that you do want to learn as you play the game. So like the vampire mansions and things can go by the road, they can't go on it. Cemetery can go on the road and nowhere else. This is dangerous, and I like it. In general, you probably want the vampire mansion not affecting too many things at once. So right here it affects 5 tiles I would traverse across anytime I enter a battle there. The vampire joins the battle, which means you have a higher chance for getting some good enchanted items, but the vampire gives everything lifesteal, which is very dangerous. So we're gonna do that. Cemeteries don't spawn things for 3 days, so that's pretty safe to put that down now, especially since it's not the end of a day yet. So if it was closer to the end of the day, then that would mean it would be closer to having 3 days progress. Spider Cocoon, I need you for early cards. Where do I want you? So here is a good spot for another card in the future. But I also get some good spiders here, and that's pretty early on. So we'll do that. Swamps are basically, you can get mosquitoes every 3 days, but more importantly, all healing effects are lethal here, except for the potions. They're still on your side. I have potions, yay. You unlock those as you go and upgrade stuff in your town. But yeah, so you can make the vampire's lifesteal a negative for your enemies based on how you build and what you do with that. So I don't want to put a river here. Once again, I want to put it here because I'm eventually going to want to spread my suburbs out to make little crosses and just kind of keep going down, 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 and left and right, and then down, 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 down. So yeah, we'll do that. I don't have a bookery yet, so I'm not worried about that. You can only build suburbs on other suburbs once you place them down. You know, stuff like that. Cool stuff like that. Do I want... Okay, if I put a vampire mansion here in the future, this is a fine place for a swamp. There's a little slime there. He doesn't get knocked out. You can place villages on top of enemies, and it will basically obliterate them from the map. However, there are also cards called Oblivion cards, which just straight up erase things. And that's probably what we're going to go for. Ooh, I like you over a region per second. Let's hope we can get one of our special skeletons to get there. I unlock these crossbowmen over time, finished our quest, keep our river going. Just like the suburbs, it can only build on itself. You can only build on where the river's end is. You cannot go back to the beginning or build off to the sides of it. So it will be a snake around the map. I do not have my special cool stuff. Sad. Not all my crossbowmen are fully upgraded. Okay, there's a skeleton warrior. It is faster than our normal skeletons. And I think it does more damage as well. Ooh, max skeletons +1. That is a good enchantment. In fact, that's usually good enough to not even worry about stuff. Attack speed on the necromancer, by the way, makes you summon faster. So pretty good. We're going to place this over here to remind me to place a mountain in the future then. Oblivion, so just to show off what this thing does, I'm just going to Oblivion that slime. It is gone. You can use it on monsters that have basically gotten too annoying for you to deal with. Ooh, wait, that's a great amulet. Okay. Or, more importantly, you can use it to get rid of features you don't want. Like, as we place mountains, a goblin camp will just randomly spawn on the map. Let's put this suburb here. We get that. And because we did that, we got noticeable change, which is another thing that you get 20 changes to form a complete metamorphosis, 10 drops, form a whole orb of unity if you can get enough of these shapeless masses, all that jazz. So once again, let's see. Stable branches, I've currently got a 1 piece. We need 12 pieces to form a stable piece of wood. And we get that by placing forests and things like that. Or by going through groves with rat wolves in them. Which, you know, frightening. Very different from wolf rats. Wolf rats are your friends. Rat wolves are not your friends. Okay, so right now I have a maximum of 4 skeletons. There we go. So as you can see, my summon quality leaves something to be desired. Some enemies can resurrect themselves to a second state, like the skeleton just did there. A bookery. Ooh, a bookery. I will place you here, just to show off what the bookery does. So, this mosquito after attack 7 times will explode. which is also kind of beneficial for us, as long as we don't kill it too fast. We killed it too fast. We got XP though, so we can get a hero trait. Any direct damage to the hero will be evenly split between him and the skeletons. That's an amazing trait to keep you alive. So as you can see, I can only place this river down on the river end right there. We can place a forest down. And in fact, I think this will eventually give me more bonus building in the middle of the river that I am planning to scooch around, basically. But yeah, we'll do that. I have one card left, so as we approach this bookery, the blue spots indicate where you can get a new card from. Now, after we've done this 20 times, the bookery will become an abandoned bookery and actually generate an enemy for us. Which, you know, may not be exactly what I want, but I'll live until I don't. We lose skeleton level if I switch to this Grimoire, but I get another max skeleton. We'll do that. Attack speed. Ooh, that's just better than my current right ring. Okay. All right then. I'm once again trying to save up enough cards for that bookery. You can only take 3 maximum, and once you finish that, you can get the tome that joins battles and gives everything else magic shield, other than you, which, you know, it doesn't like me, which saddens me. But it does give you a lot of cards and resources and things that you can't get otherwise usually. Okay, so I've got my 3 cards, so now I can start placing surplus cards on the map. Alright then. Yeah, so far the mosquitoes aren't living long enough to do cool stuff. Okay, and right now I've got this at 4 times speed. We can change this to the normal speed, and now in combat we'll walk slower. That's basically all that does. I like having it fast, personally, because I've set it so that it'll pause after every battle, right? But if I didn't, then maybe this little speed would be nice. Let's see. Go over here. Let's not pause after every battle. Continue. Yeah, every hero plays very differently, which I do love about this game. Look at me, just keep jogging along. Let's make me fast again. There we go. There is a maximum hand size. As you toss out cards from the left, you will gain some other bonuses as well. So I'll hold on to these for a little bit just to show you how that works. Yes. Overall, though, I think this game, even at its full price of $15, $14.99 USD, is worth it. Just for somebody who likes tactical games, about thinking about how to place things, what interactions there are, how to build a hero. It's very good. It's very good. You can, if I remember correctly, even exit, and it should save where you're at in the loop. Okay, so yes, I came back into the game after exiting. It did completely exit out, but it did remember my loop. So yes, that is a thing. Let's see, did it? No, okay, so yeah, it did remember that. It just paused for me since I re-entered the game, I guess. Very good quality of life stuff. Okay, mountains I do not want to put into here because rocks are worth less than mountains to me. If I accidentally build a 3x3 elsewhere, that does mean my big mountain peak will shift in a way I don't want it to. So that's a potential problem. Let's see. I did want to wait till we can get a big enough hand size to discard some stuff just so I can show you that. Well, yeah, as you can see, it's pretty easy on your hands too, since you're really not clicking stuff very often. It's basically idle deck building RPG that is also kind of a card collector. It's very unique, and I love it. I highly enjoyed my time with Loop Hero. I think you all will as well. Now, I don't know how much replayability there is after you really finish stuff. Unless you just love the game. As you can see, I was discarding cards there. So, let's see, yep, I got rid of 2 cards, and that became, if I remember correctly, I think memory fragments. I think that's how you get memory fragments. Anyway, you can also pop out your little bag to see what amount of things you have. You can see your active traits and stuff. you know, there's a lot of good things they did in Loop Hero. Now, my one thing would be, if you don't like being kind of strategic and keeping track of all the little things your character has, then you may not like Loop Hero. Also, there is quite a bit of grinding, I would say, later in the game. Kind of the middle of the game, really, is how it feels like. Where you will just kind of need to run loops in order to generate enough resources to empower your hero, right? And so that can be a bit off-putting to some, you know. Personally, it seemed like they had, at least the way I played it, it seemed like there was enough things to unlock or get new interactions from that it kept it pretty fresh for me. So I enjoyed it. But there is a little bit of that, unless you know kind of exactly what you're doing. And if you're playing the game for the first time, you're not going to, right? You're going to go and not know things. But as you unlock things, the encyclopedia in this game will pretty much just straight up inform you. And see, I don't have enough skeleton quality to get my tank skeleton fast enough. Right now we're just being destroyed by these. Thankfully, I don't have to try to unlock this. I'm just gonna... Skeleton level. I need it. Defense, attack speed. I'm almost out of my potions. So as you can see, you can get out of control pretty quickly if you don't have any mechanisms for dealing with that. So, like, I probably want a swamp there, so then the mosquito can explode and destroy all those if I can't get enough guys. Ooh. Each allied skeleton heals me when it dies. Yeah, that would have helped me through that. That's a very good trait to have, especially early on when you're still trying to survive and stuff. Okay, well, let's get another thicket. Another thicket. So thickets give you plus 2% attack speed versus forests gives you just plus 1%. Once we place down 10, we're going to get a random encampment of sorts. It'll be great. It will be great. Just to show you what the big peak is, I'm just going to... Okay, we got a goblin camp for having 10 rocks out, I believe. Is it 10? Yeah. Math. Okay, so we just got a bunch of preserved pebbles and things. Here it is. Preserved rocks, preserved pebbles. So that happened. And then now a harpy can spawn. But we also get plus 7 max HP for every adjacent mountain and rock tile. So this is very good for us. Swampert, I will put you there. And now we've placed enough swamps that we can get a witch hut. And the witch will heal your enemies, and it can take 10% of your maximum HP away from you and heal your enemies with it. But it will also give you potions and stuff and heal you and things like that. So, yes, the witch can be interesting. I believe it takes away your max potion in order to do that effect. So, it's interesting. We're going to put it right there. And I will hope to put a swamp here for when those goblins start to spawn, because otherwise my life will be pain. Very much pain. Oh yes, I can put one right here. We got that. I can put another one right about... Right about nowhere at the moment. I'll put you there. To get the town. But, oh well. Life will go on. We'll put that suburb there, or that river. I do want a vampire mansion. So, one other thing to note. This will probably kill me. But, that's fine. So that vampire mansion changes that village into a ransacked village. And now we're going to get 4 ghouls and a vampire there. And it will be terrifying. And we will probably die. And explode, please. Thank you. Okay. The explosion does not seem to hurt me, which is nice. But yeah, I'm probably just dead here. Probably just dead. Ah, that's the same enchantment as my level 1 ring. I was hoping to have another enchantment, but generally the color indicates the rarity and the amount of enchantments you can get. Early on in the game, often the unenchanted items are better. It seems like the further into the axe you go, the better your stuff. These keep healing off of my skeletons being hit. Okay, we've got a skeleton guard. Good. Thank you, skeleton guard. Once my skeletons die, though, they do heal me a little bit, which is why I'm still alive right now. Oh dear. So this is a battle of attrition. Come on, vampire. The day will keep on cycling. Sometimes that's nice because you get your daily regen in the morning. But I'm about to die. Thankfully, I have the Ancestral Crypt. So, yeah, I also get my free evasion first, so that gave me a percentage evasion, or regeneration, resurrection, whatever you want to call it. Resurrection. There we go. But the Ancestral Crypt also gives me another full resurrection. So, that's kind of nice. You do not start with that. You have to unlock it. Other things to know. Other things to know. Once again, I would say this is a very grimdark game. The kind of dead bodies you see on this side of the screen and my side of the screen sometimes, that's about as bad as it gets. There are some significant curse words, I'd say, some moderate curse words. No F-bombs, but yeah, when you meet some of the enemies in the game and interact with them for the first time, let's just say they're not always happy to see you, and you're not always happy to see them as your character. God is basically trying to destroy the universe, so that's another spoiler alert. But it's also how you explain, oh hey, how do I keep reviving from the dead, and how does, you know, why is all this stuff happening? Why is this a void that I can build stuff in? Etc., etc. So it's mostly just for the effect of making a cool game and trying to explain it. But yeah, there's some theology that I personally don't think would make good theology to live by. But yeah. Other than that, you're just a hero trying to not die and save the universe. So really, I mean, it's pretty heroic, you know. Other than that, what else? There's really not that much objectionable if this small amount of violence and moderate curses do not bug you. Other than that, it could get frustrating if you don't know what the interactions are and things like, ooh, the Gift of Blood is interesting. Plus 0.5. Yeah, I went that early. Okay. So, yes. Once again, it is $15 at most. It's often on sale on Steam and stuff. Epic had it for free during the winter sale they had. And yeah, I think right now it's like $8.99 on Steam. Because it's currently a Lunar New Year sale when I'm recording this, but that's going to be gone by the time this shows up, so sorry about that. But, yeah. Overall, I really enjoyed my time with it. It's, like, tactical enough for building up the map and building your town. Once again, other minor rub in this game is when you unlock some of the new things to place into your town, you can find out that you misplaced things in your town earlier, and that can get annoying. But you do get some resources back for when you demolish that and rebuild around it. But that's just kind of like the only real thing. And some people might not like the small amount of grinding you need to do. But, yeah. Other than that, I've really enjoyed Loop Hero. Once again, I think you'll like it if you enjoy strategy, RPGs. Now we have a choice that I have fallen for realsies. I can basically retreat and keep 30% of the stuff I've had. I will lose all this stuff unless these boss skulls I've taken I pay with, so I can do that, pay with that. I could also choose to resurrect, thanks to the Ancestral Crypt. We will retreat and take everything, because I'm a greedy boy. Okay, there we go. So yes, the game also does have ways to, you know, if you go back and face easier acts to collect those skulls, then they will help you in future acts if you're having some trouble. I can now upgrade a building. Let's do that. Here we go. Here's how the little character actions work. The pixel art in this game is beautiful. You know, very well, quite steady. The tower looks even better than before. I'll make a new training plan for the Watchman so that he doesn't ruin the good impression. I can speak words. Okay. So yes, that's Loop Hero in a nutshell. That's kind of how the game loop goes. You go on the expedition, you figure out what you can build to help you. You can then find stuff on the map. And let's see, can I upgrade anything else? Probably not. Mud hut? Nope. I am missing some of that stuff. Now I have the alchemist, so I could transmute some things. Like, I don't know, I could decompose you into some form of alchemy material. And then I could try to build more of the stuff I need. Oh yeah. If you ever lose track of things, you can looking here to figure out, okay, what's my story, what I need. But honestly, there's enough help online to help you figure out various things for like farming or anything like that. That in theory, you probably don't even need to look at this encyclopedia much, but it is very useful to have, and I'm glad the developers put it in because it helps you keep track of everything. You can also go to your supplies and basically kit out your hero for specific purposes, like you can make them do more damage against undead, right, for one build. Another build could be that you become more defensive and reflect a bunch of damage, and so on and so forth. So like, this is my Necromancer tab, and I didn't even put all the best stuff I should have had in here. Because the Necromancer doesn't really deal damage, I don't think you need any of these. Healing HP would have probably been helpful. And more HP. So as you can see, we have all these slots right now unlocked because I've built a bunch of mud huts. Eventually, let's put you in there too. Yeah, we have a lock on what we can place because I don't have enough slots in tab. Now you can upgrade your mud huts. That'll give you more item slots and so on and so forth. But yeah, that's Loop Hero in a nutshell, dear viewer. Once again, it is rated teen for moderate language, some violence, overall a dark story with hope, and you save the universe, so you know what? Why not? I've enjoyed it, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you want to see more, and have a great day, dear viewer.